Alright guys, so today we're here on Redfeather Falls to hunt with all of the classic rifles in the game. I've done things like this in the past. We did all of the handguns and all of the bows and shotguns before, and I really like doing them, and you guys seem to enjoy them as well. But the thing I like about it is just using a bunch of different weapons in one hunt, so that's how we're going to do it today. And I want to include the 50 cap muzzleloader because if I were ever to do all the muzzleloaders in the game hunt, currently there are two, so that would be probably kind of boring. So there's a total of 6 counting the 50 cap muzzleloader. We've got the 8x57, the 303 British, the 4570 Buffalo rifle, the 30-06 Bolt, the 7.62 by 54, and of course the 50 cap muzzleloader, like I've already mentioned. So we spawned up here at my kind of northeast tent, and I'm gonna head. That was a horrible circle. I'm gonna head southwest. And I'll probably try to get over into whitetail territory at some point. I think that river can't be crossed there though, so I don't know how I'll get around there, but I want to get down into this area. But I want to get 2 kills with each weapon. The ones I've currently got on me are the 4570 Buffalo. I do have the 8x57 currently, and which one did I put in my backpack? The 303 British. So that's probably going to be the first 3. We'll try to get 2 kills with each of them and then stop off at a tent and switch them out. Alright, so before we get going, I do have a quick announcement for you guys. And for those of you that have watched the channel for any extent of time, you know that I've always wanted to live stream, but unfortunately I can't with my really slow internet. But what I've done is the uncut videos, which is about as close as I've ever been able to get to live streaming. It's kind of live, but obviously it's not for you guys. There's no live chat. But recently I was on Zaggedy K's live stream, and that was so much fun. We were there for about 4 hours, and make sure you go check out his channel. I'll actually leave a link in the description as well as a clickable link at the end of the video, and I'll try to remind you in my outro if I can remember to do that. But yeah, really cool guy. We had both Call of the Wild and the Hunter Classic streams back to back. It was really, really fun, as I said. But the announcement is that we are going to be doing more live streams together, so if you subscribe to his channel and click the notification bell, you will get notifications as to when he's live streaming. And I won't be there every time, but I think we are going to try to do a good bit of them together while my summer vacation still lasts. Didn't really plan on shooting anything in this clip, but we've got an elk here. And we are going to use the 4570 Buffalo because we don't know when we'll have animals that we can shoot with it. I think she got close enough. So yeah, that is my announcement. I think what I'm going to try to do is make like a quick 30-second clip letting you guys know that I am over on his channel live streaming. And I don't know how it's going to work yet, but I'll try it out. So no score on this elk. But yeah, I'm going to try that out. I'm going to make like a 30-second clip just stating that I am over on his channel live streaming. And with the link, of course, in the description. And probably on screen as well. I have to check and see if I can just make that private and then public every time he goes live, or if I have to upload it every time, because I don't know if you guys will get the notification. But if you want to subscribe to this channel already, if you haven't, and click on the notification bell, you can get a notification there when we are live streaming, because it is a lot of fun. We're doing probably more Call of the Wild, so if you want to see more Call of the Wild on this channel, which I will be doing, but if you don't get enough already, you can head over to Zaggedy K's channel. He does a lot of Call of the Wild in the first place, and you can check out the live streams as well. Alright, so we got more female elk here, and I was going to ignore them because I'd rather get males, but I do have a tent right here, and I figure this is an opportunity to leave the 4570 in the tent and grab another rifle. At least that way we won't be stuck with not enough guns for the animals that we run into. Yeah, so I am going to try to ignore females as much as possible, but this was just an opportunity, really, to get rid of the 4570 Buffalo. So since there's not every animal on the map can be shot with the 4570 Buffalo, I did want to use it first, so I didn't run into something that I couldn't shoot with it if we would get to that point. So we'll grab one of the other rifles and continue on. Alright, we have a pretty small bull moose coming in, 100 to 120 score estimate. I think we'll use the 30-06 Bolt on him. So I've never fired this weapon. I'm going to wait till he stops to be hopefully sure of my shot, though. Definitely do not want to have a bad shot as our first shot with this gun. Down he goes. I like the reloading sound. Sounded pretty cool. Alright, so this will be our first 30-06 bolt harvest ever. Heart and right lung, 115 score. There's the achievement. Very nice. Alright, and we'll continue on. Alright, so we got a whitetail buck in front of us, and we've got one to our right. But I also had a grunt around the area that the one to the right came from, but I'm not sure if that's the same buck or not. So we've got the 8x57. We're going to go ahead and take this one because he's just too close, and then we'll check and see if the other small one to the right is the one we had the grunt from. Alright, so I need to see... That track was already there. I need to see where that one was. 121 score. Not too bad. So we'll run up and look around here. The grunt came from just over here. Actually, if this track's weight changed, because I know what it was... Yeah. Alright, so that buck that we had the grunt from was the other small one that we had, so we'll ignore that, and we'll continue on. Alright, we've got a pretty nice looking whitetail buck out here in front of us. 155 to 175 score estimate. We'll try out the 303 British on him. Have to shoot through this tree. Down he goes. That's a very satisfying firing sound. I actually thought I spooked that buck. I had like 4 to 11 minutes on it. I think 7 to 14 was the first track, and I was running, so wasn't looking good. But fortunately, he didn't spook, and it didn't cost us any extra time. Not a bad looking buck at all. He's got a lot of mass. 166 score, not bad at all. All right, looking pretty good. At least got the buck in the sunlight. So we've got 1 kill on the 3 rifles that we have on us, so we need 1 more for each of them. And then I think there's 2 more rifles after that. Alright, so we've got this disappointment of a whitetail buck over here. And just to make sure he's the same one I've been hearing, he is indeed. So he's the 30-06 bolt on him. And down he goes. Not a very special buck. What was that, like 35 to 60 score estimate? I didn't even pay attention. We'll grab him and find out. 56 score. At least he's a buck. And looks like we got a black bear over there. It's running away. We'll head that way. I believe that's the female that I had tracks from, so I'm not too concerned about tracking it down, but if we get an opportunity to take a shot on it, we'll do that. Alright, so our black bear is actually walking towards us in the river right now. You can see it. It's actually under 30 meters. It is the female, 13 to 16 score. I think it may have stopped because I can't hear it. And actually, what's that? It didn't stop. I see it now. So Whitetail Doe in the background, but we'll use the 8x57 on this bear, since it is the most powerful weapon I have on me. Drop the bear in its tracks. So that's it for the 8x57. We've still got the 303 British as well as the... What's the other one I have on me? 30-06 bolt. I think we've shot 2 animals with that too, so the only one I have on me that we've not yet gotten 2 kills with is the 303 British, so I'll have to head for a tent. Or maybe just fast travel to the lodge, one of the two. 13 scoring bear. Not too bad. Alright, so we'll look for 1 more kill. I'm going to head directly for this tent. And if we get 1 kill before we get anywhere near it, we'll just fast travel to the South Lodge and get the other weapons we need. Alright, so we've got a Whitetail Doe right on top of us, but I know there's a buck over there to the left. In fact, I see him. He looks to be the twin brother of the other one we shot. I'm going to have to shoot fast. That looked weird. Did you guys see that? He got out of there so fast. Alright, now I'm curious to see if we hit him. He looked like he was running as if he was injured, but that was strange the way he reacted to that shot. There's definitely blood here. It is body blood, but I think that'll kill him. We will find out. Alright, it looks like our buck's down over here. I shouldn't be able to see a track that far away, so it must be him. So I guess that body shot did take him down. I'm kind of curious. I might like play that back in slow motion because he left so much faster than any deer I've ever shot. There must have been, I don't know if he was standing on a rock and that managed to kind of launch him when he started to run. Let's see the score though. 57.4 score, just a bit bigger than the last one. And that's our 25th 303 British bolt action rifle harvest. I didn't know that I was close. We're going to fast travel to the lodge because likely we'll run into another animal before we get to the tent. So I'd like to just get the other weapons we need before we find another animal. Alright, we've got a bull moose right in front of us. He's not too big himself. 122, 140 score estimate. We'll use the 50 cap on him. I think it's legal. I'm actually not sure. He must have been about to charge us. I thought we dropped him. Guess we did catch lungs, though. I didn't hear anything, so I just assumed he dropped. I guess he was going to charge. I couldn't see through the smoke, but that's crazy. I wanted to go ahead and get that reloaded because you wouldn't believe how many times I have pulled out this muzzleloader to take a shot at an animal and then stood up to reload it. So that's never good. So we had pretty much everything but the heart. 135 score. Not bad. So one more 50 cap harvest and two more 7.62 harvests, which this is the other classic rifle I've never fired before, so we'll get to try it out next. Alright, so we got a whitetail buck at a pretty decent range out here. He's around 120 meters. The 7.62 has the worst scope zoom of the classic rifles. The other three have a 4 power zoom, and the 7.62's got a 3.5. The only one worse that I have with me is the 50 cap, which has a straight 3 power. So we'll use the 7.62. Actually, I don't know what the 4570 Buffalo scope zoom is, but I think it's better than the other one. So we'll try a bit of a long shot here with the scope. Dropped him in his tracks. Another rather satisfying reloading sound. So we'll run up and grab him, and then we have 2 more harvests to go. Hopefully we can find something else decent, but we did have the pretty nice whitetail buck already, so can't complain about that. Yesterday I was here almost as long as I've been here already, just trying to find a 10-point whitetail buck for a mission, and it took me forever. I couldn't find any, and we've killed like 3 this hunt now. And we had seen one other one. Just my luck, I guess. I'm guessing that is this guy's track. So that was an intestine shot. 103 score. I knew the angle was most likely intestines. But I was pretty confident in the power of the 7.62 just from what I've heard about it. So this actually isn't a track from that whitetail buck, so we'll see what it is. It's actually a pretty decent weight whitetail buck, so I think we'll track it. Alright, I'm pretty glad we tracked this buck because he turned out to be pretty decent. 145 to 170 score estimate. We'll go ahead and use the 7.62 again just so we don't have to wait for him to come all the way in. Because I don't think the 50 cap will have the penetration at that distance. So that was clearly just like single lung, if that, and it dropped him in his tracks. So the 7.62 is definitely a good rifle. So we just have 1 kill left to go with the 50 cap muzzleloader, and that will be 2 with each of the classic rifles. Again, I wanted to throw the 50 cap in there because it is a classic gun, so I guess it kind of counts. I thought this guy was actually going to be bigger than the score estimate would have led me to believe, but he is a 7x7 and not an 8x8, and he does have some pretty short tines, so we'll see what he scores. 159, not too bad for a 7x7. We did have left lung and intestine. Alright, so the search begins for one last kill. Alright, we got a whitetail buck coming in. Not that big, but at least it is a buck. I passed like 5 does trying to find this. I ended up fast traveling to this tent, and he was just right beside it. So unfortunately, I can't shoot back that far. I'm going to go ahead and hop out of the stand to do that. Nice puff of white smoke, and our buck is down. So unfortunately, he's going to be our last kill of the video. Nothing too special, but we did get 2 pretty decent whitetail bucks, so can't complain about that. But yeah, make sure you check out ZaggaDK's channel. I will leave a link on screen here during the outro screen, and I will have the link in the description as well. So yeah, make sure you check that out. I don't know if we're going to be doing a live stream today, although we've already done that, even if we did. So ignore that. But we're going to try to do more in the future as well. 111 score on our buck. Not too bad. So with that, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.